2,200 children in foster care. More than 700 of them are ready for adoption. Former Secretary of the Commonwealth Jim Kelly has helped launch an effort to target the crisis. It's called Virginia's Kids Belong. Right now, Virginia ranks 48th in the country in the number of children who age out of the system. BKV brings together people of all spheres of influence to help, including politics.
It has nothing to do with party, it has to do with passion.
And it's personal for Delegate-elect Emily Brewer.
I was actually adopted myself.
Adoption and foster care reform are at the top of her priority list.
But it's easier to adopt children oftentimes from foreign countries than it is right here in Virginia. And so we need to work on changing that.
So what the Virginia delegate-elect said is true. Something does need to be done to change the adoption process. According to a children's rights website in 2017, 428,000 children at any given time are part of the foster care system. 15% of these children wait an average of 2 years to be adopted after their parents' parental rights are terminated by the state. This is important because it's often discussed in state legislatures, and if you're looking to adopt, it's important to know the difficulties involved with adopting a child. For me, this topic is personal because my mom was adopted. The adoption process and foster care system should be fully regulated by the federal government to reduce the number of children in the foster care system by increasing the amount of adoptions. In order to understand the necessity for a federal adoption system and reformation, we first need to discuss the problems and how this solution would be effective. Currently, little federal regulation exists. It's mostly up to the states to form these laws. This creates problems. Minimal federal regulation puts children at risk. State regulation is mostly a problem due to its inconsistencies. For example, if you were from Virginia and wanted to adopt a child from, say, Georgia, you would have to follow both state laws in order to do that. It creates a lot of difficulty. Also, there's discrimination among who can adopt. According to a Georgia State Senate bill that just passed, it's also known as Keeping the Faith in Adoption and Foster Care Act of 2018, it allows private adoption agencies to discriminate on the basis of religion as to who can adopt. This creates a problem, especially among LGBT people looking to adopt children. And since this bill is in Georgia, Atlanta is home to one of the largest LGBT communities in the United States, eliminating thousands of couples from being able to adopt children. Problematic and minimal federal regulation exists currently. According to a JBS International article in 2018, the Adoption and Safe Families Act was enacted in 1997 to promote the goals of reuniting the child with their parents. Preference was given to relatives, and terminating of parental rights could only occur if considerable efforts had been made from 15 out of the past 22 months to reunite the child with their family. Gordon published an article in the Minnesota Law Review Journal in 1999 discussing the problems of ASFA, saying that a child with his relatives may not feel like he's in a real home, and these considerable efforts have to be made, but if the state doesn't make these efforts, they can keep the child in the foster care system longer by not terminating the parents' rights. A 2018 American Society for Positive Care of Children article discusses the effects of prolonged stay among children in foster care. Only half of children who age out of the system graduate high school. A fourth of the children who age out of the system are incarcerated within 2 years. And children with any foster care experience whatsoever are 2 times more likely to be diagnosed with PTSD than United States war veterans. These problems are attributed to many different and conflicting policies among states. The best solution is to increase adoption rates by establishing unified federal laws and federal regulation. A federal adoption system could solve many problems. It would allow LGBT couples to adopt, creating thousands of more parents for these kids. It would clearly define how parental rights are terminated and strictly stay to 15 months and outline the considerable efforts states must make every month. There would also be no limits on adopting between states, so it would be so much easier to adopt children. An article by Crum in 2012, published in the Journal of Environmental and Public Health Law, discusses the benefits of a unified adoption system, citing reduced difficulty and reduced inconsistencies among states, decreasing the time it takes for children to get adopted. By unifying federal regulation of the adoption process, the United States will see a decrease in foster care through an increase in adoption. After considering these problems due to inconsistencies and the solution, you should have a better perspective on the necessity of a federal intervention in the adoption process. Federal intervention is required in order to fix. And I encourage you all to talk to your U.S. House and Senate representatives from your states about creating a bill and then voting in any bill that is created. If uniform federal adoption laws are enacted, 15% of children waiting an average of 2 years to be adopted will have the opportunity to